Hi guys, here we are with Nick. Tell us a bit about your company and your name.
Right, so my name is Nick Vadasz. I'm the founder of Vadasz Deli Pickles and Ferments, and yeah, we launched when was it? About 12 years ago, something like that. And yeah, we're now well all over the place now. But back in the day, I think you, Marcus, you were one of our first kind of routes to market. Quite early on actually, if I remember correctly. And yeah, no, it was a really great opportunity for us to get into some independent delis.
I think we started with Eat 17, wasn't it? Seem to remember being one of the first.
Yeah, I think it was. I think it was, and quite a few local ones as well. That was the one in Hackney. That's right,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
a few others. And also, I remember you got me. You got me introduced at some event you did. I met one of the buyers from Whole Foods.
Right.
I think that was how that started. So that's how I think. So you were pretty responsible for that as well, getting into Whole Foods. So thanks a lot
Back
for
in
that.
the day. Right.
Yeah.
Good food is.
Good food is anything that puts a smile on your face, and it doesn't have to be special or healthy or anything else. Of course, if it is, and it's got all those healthy gut bacteria like our stuff does in it as well, then that's a bonus. But my sort of dream good food is a burger, good quality burger, like a Bleecker burger or something like that, with of course a bit of kimchi in it or something like that. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I've still got a Bleecker burger on my phone as a screensaver. It's been there for must have been there for about 10 years. When that was when they were, yeah, Zam was down with a little food truck going around North London, and then she moved down. Yeah, yeah, fantastic burgers those.
Fantastic burgers. Yeah.
Brilliant. So, what was it that got you into the industry, independent food industry?
Well, I was a chef for a few years, quite a few years actually. Then I got into teaching. I always thought I wanted to get, and always wanted to have something in a jar because I grew up with jars of pickles and sauerkraut and stuff around me. My dad being Hungarian, and I thought, how can I make that happen? And I saw an opportunity, took some redundancy money and started from teaching and started the business. And I always wanted to create something, special and different. And at the time, there was no one doing really what we were doing in a commercial way at all, really. And so I thought, yeah, let's stick some of these things in jars. Some of the stuff that I'd enjoyed making over the years from childhood, really. And I was really encouraged by the interest and that sort of snowballed. When we started out at a broccoli market and a few other little local markets, farmers markets in London, the interest was really surprised me, and I was inspired by the Renaissance in pickling and fermenting over in the States, where I sort of thought, yeah, I could do that. I could do something similar here, and inspired by people like Sandor Katz, the fermentation guru at the time.
Right.
And of course, there are quite a few fermentation gurus out there nowadays, which is quite funny. But yeah, at the time, that's what really got me excited, and it's great when you can match your excitement with something tangible and monetize it,
Absolutely.
isn't it, Marcus? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's what it juices me about the food club every day.
yeah,
Is helping food brands just find retailers find food brands that particularly startups. When I can phone up a startup and say, I've just got this retailer's really interested in placing an order or has placed an order now through the website. It's just great, so rewarding.
it is indeed. It is. Yeah, very rewarding.
So high point and low point of the company.
Um, well, the high point's got to be, when we launched into Waitrose back in 2019, and beyond that, seeing my products on the shelves of all the supermarkets, the big retailers, especially those like Tesco's and Asda's. I mean, all great, of course, but seeing I always wanted. That was one of the things that I always wanted was that our products were accessible to everyone. Now, I love independent retailers, and I still shop in those and so on. But the idea of my name on a jar in Tesco's or Asda was just something special, and I love the idea that anyone can buy it wherever they are in the country, even if they haven't got a nice farmers market around the corner or a posh deli. That's the high point for me, is seeing,
Right.
and it still is, Low point, yeah, wow. Sitting in a car park at Spitalfields Market, New Spitalfields Market, at 5 a.m, raining, cold in the winter, not wanting to get out of my van because I knew I was going to have to go and beg my veg supplier to give me more credit and it was hand to mouth back in the day. It really was, it was a struggle, and those sort of days, those moments were really, yeah, I can still remember how bad that felt. So matched with the joy of seeing the products now on the shelves, it's tangible. Yeah,
it's a gut wrenching as well. I mean, I'm sure there's people that run credit up and I mean, it's happened to me, with no intention of paying and stuff like that. But if I'm not, if it's not positive financially, I find it really, it's tough. I find it very emotional.
Yeah, it's very difficult, and the temptation when you're starting up is to say yes to everyone, and people treat you like a big supplier, and they put you on 90 days or whatever, and you just can't afford to do that.
Yeah, no, it's true. What one thing would you do differently if you could start again?
Yeah, think about this. I certainly wouldn't worry about the things that were out of my control. I think it's really easy to worry about everything, but you've got to remain focused on what you can do, or what you do, and what you do well. And the other stuff, if it goes wrong, it goes wrong, but at least you're focusing on your products, and that's the important thing. If you can get other people to do that for you, get a team around you, or get good advice, but don't worry about stuff that's out of your control. What's the point? You can't. You can't do that.
That's the serenity prayer, isn't it? Grant me the wisdom to something stuff I can control, and not worry about stuff I can't control. Something like that.
Absolutely, Marcus. Yeah.
Brilliant. One bit of advice you were given at the start that you would disagree with, and one that you would agree with.
I would disagree with, and this is an interesting one, because when I first started out, there were lots of colleagues around doing similar things, or not pickles, but small startups, and they were getting their boxes and everything, their vans wrapped with their logos. They were spending a lot of money on packaging with their logos on it and everything else. And I certainly had no free cash to do that. I mean, it was all going into buying products and buying raw materials and packaging. I certainly couldn't afford all that stuff. So I would say my advice, it wasn't given to me, but it was true. Don't waste money on merch and things like that until you can afford to do it. Really isn't necessary. Good products sell themselves, and that's it.
No, that's good. And one piece of advice that you were given that you would agree with?
Well, the old saying, there's nothing new in the world, is it? But turnover is vanity, and profit is sanity. You've got to do business in a way that you can afford to do business, and certainly, it can stroke your ego when you're turning over lots of money. But if you've got no profit, it's worthless. So
I mean, I'm a huge fan. I mean, I bang the drum every day. Low volume, high margin, particularly for startups. And it's got to be margin driven. If you become a margin based business, you might find that you don't need huge amounts of turnover. And you almost get on a treadmill that you can't get off when you've got low margin, high volume at the beginning. Fascinating. Food brand that you admire?
Well, that's really difficult. I admire so many food brands.
We can have a few.
Say again?
We can have a few.
Um, I love what do I love? I love Pip and Nut.
Yeah,
Their peanut butter is
great
fantastic.
story.
They were one of the first, again, similar time to me, and they went out there and really had a go, and they've done so well. And I love the product. There's a few peanut butter brands I could go on about, I suppose, but I won't. You know,
We've just started working with Two Nods, and look what they've got.
oh my God.
Chip shop curry peanut butter.
Cashew butter. How fantastic. Amazing.
Yeah. So I'm looking for. I mean, it does taste really nice. Actually,
Another
grating
brand,
taste.
Blackwood's cheese.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got a lot of respect for those guys. They had a bit of a disaster recently with their factory leak in the factory, but they've rebuilt it all. And
Is that the blue cheese in the triangle pack with the blue rice and orange?
They do the Graceburn cheese, which is the soft cheese in olive oil and
Right.
olive oil.
Sorry. Yes.
Absolutely fantastic products. So love those guys. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And of course, yeah. So of course, yeah.
One more or no?
Well, I was going to say, Vadasz, because I'm in awe of what the team have done since we launched in Waitrose and stuff. So I admire them, the team.
Fantastic. Right, and a personal guilty food pleasure.
I can never decide, and this is part of my neurodiversity, what to have on my toast. So I have everything. So I have a layer of Marmite, then peanut butter, and then kimchi. Okay, and that is my go-to breakfast.
Nice.
So it ticks all the boxes in terms of savoury, umami-ness, and everything else. And it kind of, then I know I've done that bit for the day. Yeah, it's really good stuff. You should try it. It's delicious.
I was going to say that's. I've had a few little suggestions on these interviews. Brilliant. We sort of touched on it at the beginning, but so the food club, anything that was good or that worked?
I think the opportunity it gave to opening doors into a few of the retailers that I just didn't have the time, Marcus, did I? Or not a lot of people do. If you're out there, trying to, it's all right. Because our product, of course, was a fresh, so it had to be chilled or it had to be sold quickly and so on. So we didn't have that production time, then selling time. It was all continuous. So I never had the time to go out selling. We were very lucky. We had a product that was in demand and so on. But you helped with that, and that was fantastic. Getting into places where I wouldn't have been able to even get to, let alone end up on the shelves there. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, it is an amazing product and such a fantastic story, and they look so eye-catching as well. I was walking down the Sainsbury's aisle when I saw them the other day, and it was like, boom, that green one just stood out beautifully.
What, the jalapeno relish?
Yeah. And that's brilliant on burgers. Unbelievable on burgers.
It's incredible. It is incredible. It really is. But it's the kimchi that's still driving the brand at a pace, I must say. But brilliant. The jalapeno relish is brilliant.
It's so good to catch up and it's been ages. So great. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Marcus.
Great nuggets in there.
Pleasure.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Cheers, Marcus.